What if you could get the body you want while being diet-free for life? Yes, folks, it is possible, and the author behind this new fitness plan is right here this morning. First up, though, at any given time, 2/3 of Americans are on a diet, but less than 5% of them keep the weight off that they've lost once they stop the dieting.
That old yo-yo thing. Robert Ferguson is considered one of America's leading authorities on fat loss. In fact, he's on the Presidential Task Force on Obesity.
And his new book explains how you can be diet-free for life and still lose weight. He says to get your body tight, it's all about getting your mind right. And Robert joins us this morning.
We're quoting, man.
That's it. Robert,
so
welcome.
Does this mean this is totally off the diet?
Please, Robert, don't say we got to get rid of the pizza.
We can eat our pizza. Delivery doesn't matter. Just a matter of eating the pizza in the right amounts.
Now, what do you mean by the right amount? What do we have to do?
Well, like if I were to take my hands like this and put them together, right there, if I was eating delivery pizza, would be the portion size for pizza. So about 3 slices for men, about 2 slices for a woman. Have a salad with that, and that's a meal.
So forget about the entire box.
Exactly. I mean, so if you're eating a whole pizza every night, come on.
Is that just the problem with American culture? Everything is supersized. We kind of have this attitude of, you know, with houses, cars, everything, that bigger is better, and we take that to our portion size?
Some of it has to do with biological hunger, which means if you go a long time without eating, then you're going to become ravenous. That means that when you sit down to eat, your blood sugar levels have dropped. They're so low that all you can think about, well, actually you can't even think, you just want to eat. Right?
And so you're just
throw yourself in there on
and
the
you're
food.
just enjoying, and then by the time you realize that you are satiated or satiated, then you've eaten a little bit too much. So my recommendation is to have people eat every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. Eat your nice-sized meals, like Grandma used to say, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but then snack in between. And when you do that, it's diabetic-friendly, heart-healthy, it's adaptable to everyone. So you eat the foods that you love. I mean, literally, my clients have gone to the fast food establishments and have lost hundreds of pounds.
But you eat steadily so your blood sugar remains
It's just a matter of eating in a way where you're maximizing metabolism and blood sugar.
Let's say we start making so much progress here, the weight starts coming off, and then we stop. But you're saying there's a way that we can actually do this for life.
Right, because if you eat the foods that you love, that you want to eat, actually many of the foods that cause you to gain the weight, but if you learn to eat those same foods, right, and you drop the pounds, why would you ever gain the weight back? You wouldn't. It's the deprivation.
Because you're not depriving yourself.
Exactly, and I am totally against that. And that's why I talk quite a bit about mindset. Because if you can get your mind right, you literally can get your body tight.
So is it a matter of seeing food as as fuel? I mean,
no, because then you feel like you're in a diet, right? Because if you're thinking, okay, eat for fuel, eat for energy, then that's a diet. Even with athletes, you know, they're always thinking about fuel, and so when they're no longer an athlete, what happens? They all gain 60, 70, 100 pounds.
Right.
I used to call that the Charles Barkley syndrome. So,
I bet he appreciated that.
Poor Charles.
CBS, baby.
Man, you're a tough act.
But even he's dropping weight now.
Yeah, he really is. What got you on this path? I mean, what's your own personal story, too?
My personal story is really, I'm that type of person who likes to help others. But then when I watched my mom go through a lifetime of yo-yo dieting, you know, gaining 100 pounds, lose 100 pounds, again and again and again, then I wanted to put those bullies or diets out of business. And so that's a big part of my goal, is to show people from a mama-approved standpoint, because it's worked for my mom. She's down 105 pounds, eating chicken wings and not chicken breasts. You know, eating mac and cheese and not avoiding the white flours and all that stuff. So you can eat the foods that you can afford. You can eat the foods that you have a cultural relationship with, but you eat them in a way where you're going to be able to drop some pounds. You can have your Memphis barbecue.
That's what we wanted to hear. That's what we needed to hear, because we were afraid maybe you would say we couldn't do that anymore at all.
There are no forbidden foods.
You mentioned that this is heart healthy. This keeps you from a blood sugar problem, which might lead to diabetes. What about things like salt? Do you, when you're eating your Memphis foods, do we get to add those kinds of things, or do we try to trim a little bit?
I believe that the salt is one of the biggest challenges that we have in the American culture, probably worldwide.
Right.
One, you know, it helps with as a preservative, and we like to add salt to our food, especially those who are over the age of 40. For some reason, we just just naturally do that.
Just keep putting it on.
You know, our taste buds
we pile
probably,
it on there.
Don't they diminish? Our taste buds diminish.
But
somewhat.
there's a way where you can still consume and have your salt. I mean, there's many herbs and alternatives out there that taste like salt, though it's not salt. However, I don't say to restrict salt.
Right.
I do give some recommended guidelines, like if you go buy a frozen entree, choose a product that doesn't have more than 700 milligrams of sodium in that one meal.
Okay.
Outside of that, just, you know, go sparingly and just drink more water.
And try
that
to wean yourself a little bit off it.
A little bit.
A little bit
at
a time.
Back, and a little step back can make it possible for you to take leaps forward.
As a nation, though, are we beginning to slowly listen and really absorb what's being said about?
Absolutely not.
We're still not on the right path.
More fitness centers, more health conscious.
Yeah.
The government's all about it. The First Lady's talking about it, but yet our waistline continues to expand. And I believe that the part of the problem is the abundance of information. And so if we can just get outside of that and not judge people, meet them where they are, and don't tell them they have to be on this side of the fence as far as eat only organic. You got to show people how to eat fast food, because psychologically, if I'm driving down the road and I'm hungry and I got $5 and they say I can get 2 pizzas for $4.99, what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Go buy like a ½ pound of broccoli or buy those 2 pizzas?
Probably those 2 pizzas.
So you work with reality, in other words.
Exactly.
Is there any food that Robert Ferguson says, now I know I said eat what you want, but this one really should not be on your plate?
Oh, man.
Other than too much salt.
Are there
any single food?
Oh, that's a great question. I have never been asked that. And you know what? There's no food that comes to mind.
I love that.
I mean, in Anderson, Indiana, where I'm from, I like this pizza called Pizza King. And, you know, I'm sure the pizza here is great. I can't wait to taste it. But Pizza King, I have a tough time stopping at this portion size. So I use every strategy.
We like your honesty over there. Robert, we like your honesty for
Thank
sure.
goodness, even he has a challenge or two. Diet-free for life. What a great concept.
That's it. Robert Ferguson, thank you very much for being here in Memphis.
Dietfreeforlife.com. Thank you so much. A pleasure to meet you.
All right, where's the box?